Hello everyone and welcome to Lush and Salty Aquariums. My name is Stefan and this is my 32-gallon SR Aquaristic rimless tank. It's a long tank and it fits the racking system beautifully. Up top I have a Shahiro's Slim, which is a terrific light, and I've mounted it to the bottom bracings there. But let's get back to the inhabitants of this beautiful tank. This is a piece of budwood or rosewood, something along those lines. I've talked about it before, and it's anchored by some beautiful lengthy pieces of dragonstone, all of them with orange brown hue, and that's married to the color of the soil as well, which is a UNS aqua soil. And at the end, some gravel, which is actually just pea gravel from Petco, but it had a lot of red stones in it, and so I sprinkled it throughout, and then heavy at the right there. I'm running an Awaze Biomaster with the heater built in, so a thermo Biomaster, and I've also got a support filter back here, which is the Awaze 60, just small hang-on back canister. Honestly, I was disappointed with that unit, and I had intended for it to be the sole filtration for the tank up there, but it just wasn't doing the trick. However, I filled it with carbon, and it's helping me remove all of the filamentous algae that was starting to plague this tank. I also have help from a mono shrimp. There's one there, there's two there, and they climb along that wood and they just eat that algae, and the carbon helps with it as well. And I've increased the flow in back. You can see it just pulsing all the way across that red or purple jungle veil, which is a beautiful kind of vallisneria. You don't really see it heavily, but I do, and it's from the planted portion at the far left. Literally the whiptails go all the way almost towards the end, and actually they do, there's some there. And it's spreading now. Once veil takes hold, it takes a little while, and then once it goes, and I'm gonna have to start dealing with that. I've got floaters up top, Sterage and Repens down at the bottom, and a few stems here, and one bodacious stem there, which I just trimmed. It was very tall, and I want to keep it below the line of that rock, because after all, this is a long tank and its composition is horizontal, not vertical. So too much verticalness, if that's a word, would violate my aesthetic for what I wanted this tank to be all about. I'm very happy with it overall. Now, let's talk about these fish. It's pretty much a species only tank, at least in terms of the primary species. Obviously, I've got a cleaning crew, but I want to talk about these guys. Now, the White Cloud Mountain minnow was super common and super cheap at all pet stores, and thank God, because it's pretty much extinct in the wild, where it was found, at least according to all the stories online, by a Boy Scout in China in the White Cloud Mountain area on a hike, and he brought some home, and the rest is history. Alas, most think this species is extinct in the wild, but it's all over the hobby. Now, these are special specimens, and those of you who have had white clouds can tell. That red is more vibrant, the luminescence is more vibrant, and then the finnage. Look at that male right there. You see it flaring? Come on. When he sees a female or another male, he'll do that. He'll just, almost like a betta fish, right? All that sparring and jostling is pretty much good, healthy behavior for this fish, and they appreciate slightly cooler water, so I'm running this tank in the mid 70s as opposed to the high 70s. but since they've been bred for the hobby so long, they're pretty tolerant. I mean, people keep them outside during heat waves, as I did in California, and they thrived, and people keep them over winter in fairly temperate areas like Tennessee or something, and they survive and then come back strong. Look at that flaring right there. So I got two groups of these, one from Redfish Bluefish, which is an online seller, and he advertised his particular white cloud mountain minnows as a European pedigree, and all his fish indeed, and so they're bred to be a bit more fantastic than average, and in the long fin variety just accentuates that awesomeness. And then I got another group from a fellow who has a website called White Cloud Dynasty or White Cloud Mountain Dynasty. I urge you to look up either of those two if you're interested in these fish. He breeds for excellence, and the other guy, Redfish Bluefish, imports for excellence. So I didn't choose one or the other. I bought a group from both. There's a very fat female there. I'm sure there's been spawning in here. How could there not? But I haven't seen a fry yet, and because it's such a rambunctious group and I have a pretty large cleanup crew, I'm not sure if I ever will, but I wouldn't be surprised, and I'd love it if that happened. In any event, I'm pretty excited about this tank. I'm going to keep on trimming it little by little. I don't want to give it a massive overhaul because I sort of like the vibe of it as is, and I hope you do too. All right, everybody, as per usual, keep your hands in the tank. Ciao for now.